Let me tell you, nothing wakes you up like a 60-something-year-old woman in a power blazer banging on your truck window before breakfast, shrieking about how you're ruining the spirit of the lake and threatening to call the county on you while you're literally standing on your own property holding the deed in your hand. Yeah, that's how my peaceful retirement project exploded into an HOA war zone before I'd even finished my first cup of coffee. You ever try to buy a little slice of peace and end up in a bureaucratic knife fight with a lady named Karen and her army of joggers? Pull up a chair, because I've got a story for you. The plan was simple. Get out of the city, buy an old private lake out in El Dorado County, set up a place where I could tinker with my water filtration projects and maybe catch a bass or two without somebody's kid launching a foam rocket at my head. The property was perfect, thick with pines, a little fog on the water in the morning. And the dam, though half forgotten by time, was all mine according to a deed that took 2 lawyers, 1 county recorder, and a gallon of coffee to untangle. Water rights shoreline dam, the works. My realtor, bless her, tried to warn me. Some of the folks next door think the lake is community property, she said in that polite way Californians say. You're walking into a circus. I thought, maybe a few neighborhood kids, maybe a nosy retiree with a poodle. Turns out I'd underestimated the HOA mafia by a mile. First time I pull up, it's like I parked a dump truck on their prayer circle. A little crowd of early morning joggers stops mid-stride, eyes narrow. One of them tight perm, sharper stare badge that says Ridgehaven HOA. President marches right over and tries to evict me off my own gravel. This area is for residents only, she says. So I introduce myself. She squints, lips thin out. You must be mistaken. The lake belongs to Ridgehaven. It always has. I slap my deed on the tailgate, sign notarized, stamped in triplicate. She looks at it like it's written in Martian, mutters something about checking with the board, and stalks off. Her name, I later found out, was Karen Sloan, president, judge, jury, and self-appointed saint of Ridgehaven Waterside. I kept to myself, set up my equipment, marked out my boundaries. Every time I came out to work on the dam, there she was, or her lieutenants walking dogs, accidentally off leash on my property, waving like we're old friends. I knew this wasn't going to end with a friendly barbecue. So I hammered in new boundary markers and posted signs, federal waterway, private property, no trespassing, all the legalese I could fit on a metal board. Didn't take long for the first friendly letter to show up, HOA letterhead, that spiky retiree handwriting talking about historical customary practice and neighborly expectations. I almost choked on my coffee. Custom doesn't override a deed. I sent them a certified package deed, plat map, federal code citations, the whole bureaucratic sandwich. Thought that'd be it. Nope. The next morning, a committee showed up, clipboards, windbreakers, all of them ready for battle. They tried to inspect the perimeter, pointed at my picnic table like it was a crime scene. I showed them to the property line and locked the gate behind them. That night, over a beer, I thought, well, here comes the fun. It got weirder. Karen and her disciples kept coming, walking the fence, taking photos, filming dramatic TikToks about environmental disaster. When I put up a new steel gate, the Ridgehaven grapevine erupted. Someone yelled across the fence, "You can't block a public lake." I didn't bother answering. I just kept every letter, every complaint, every video. I've dealt with enough bureaucrats in my EPA days to know document everything always. A few days later, Karen herself rolls up in a white SUV, dressed like she's hosting a charity gala, clipboard and all. "Mr. Harksley, you're causing quite a disturbance. Our residents are concerned." I said, "It's my property, Mrs. Sloan. Concern doesn't equal ownership." Her eyes flashed. "We've maintained this lake for decades." I grinned. "So you've been trespassing for decades?" She threatened a violation notice. It arrived 2 days later, dripping with passive aggression. I sent another packet, 3 pages of federal codes, a fresh letter from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission confirming my dam permit. Karen signed for it herself. I like to imagine her face when she read it. But HOAs don't know when to quit. They need drama crowds, witnesses, outrage. That weekend, the community staged a protest selfies with my no trespassing signs. A guy in a baseball cap screaming, "You can't privatize nature." I just filmed him for the log. Monday, the county emails me anonymous complaint about hazardous obstruction. I send drone footage, permits, inspections. The clerk closes the case in an hour. But Karen isn't done. Next thing I know, a woman and her kid are fishing off my dock. Karen said she chirps. I take their picture, point at the sign. They leave, but I know this is Karen pushing the line, seeing how far she can go. That night, I start an incident log, every trespass, every letter. Thursday afternoon, the sirens come, 2 sheriff cruisers. Karen behind them waving like she's directing air traffic. That's him, she shouts. He's blocking the community's lake, threatening residents, endangering safety. I nearly laugh. The deputies ask for my paperwork. I hand over a binder thicker than a cinder block. Deeds, EPA letters, permits, everything. They walk the property, check the fence, read the signs. Ma'am, the older deputy says he's got legal ownership. There's nothing here. Karen's face sours. You're making enemies out of good people, she hisses. I shrug. Good people don't call 911 over a lake they never owned. But the saga doesn't end. Karen fires off a mass email to Ridgehaven, accuses me of building a power plant, destroying habitat, blocking public access. Flyers start popping up. Community Day at our lake. Next Saturday, the entire HOA army arrives. Grills, kayaks, canopies, chanting our lake like it's a revolution. I record everything. Call the sheriff. A drunk neighbor shoves me, got that on video too. Cops show up, arrest the guy for assault. Karen shrieks about spirit of the neighborhood. The deputies had enough. Ma'am, you're trespassing. Next time it's a citation. That night I back up every video, email it to the FERC and EPA. Monday, government trucks roll in inspectors from 3 agencies, all with clipboards. Karen sprints over hair-perfect phone out for the cameras. Thank you for responding to our emergency. The inspector just flips a page. Ma'am, this is federally regulated private property. Your HOA has no jurisdiction. Karen blinks. But we pay maintenance fees, he replies. You've been doing so without legal authority, and you might face penalties for unlicensed activity. She turns pale. The officials review every permit, stamp everything. Everything checks out, Mr. Harksley. I get the official report, every copy embossed like a trophy. Karen's posts go silent. Ridgehaven gossips go dark. But sure enough, the lawsuit arrives. HOA letterhead thick as a brick. Ridgehaven Waterside versus Stephen Harksley. Obstruction, community rights, emotional damage. The works. My lawyer, Sarah Sharp, as they come, EPA veteran, files a counterclaim so lethal the county clerk has to staple an extra cover. Trespassing, defamation, unlawful interference. Court date arrives, the place is packed. Karen's lawyer delivers a dramatic speech about community heritage. Sarah just hands the judge the paperwork. Deed maps, drone footage, police reports. Video of the picnic of me getting shoved to the mob on my lawn. Judge just shakes his head. Everything about this case could have been solved with a property search. He throws out the HOA's case schedule's damages for my counterclaim. Karen looks shell-shocked. Reporters swarm us. Someone asks what I'll do next. I say, probably go fishing alone. That makes the local news. After that, Ridgehaven unravels. The board resigns, residents apologize, and Karen gets charged with filing a false police report, obstructing a federal inspection, and organizing an unlawful assembly. 3 years probation, restitution, 10-year HOA ban. Poetic right. Now I walk my lake and peace signs, shining dam humming along. Built a research station with my settlement money, started a volunteer wetlands project. The lake's healing. So am I. But I'll never forget how quickly one person with a badge, a clipboard, and a stubborn sense of entitlement can turn paradise into a battleground. So here's my question for you. Where's the line between community and control? Ever tangled with an HOA and come out on top? Or did they steamroll you? Drop your stories in the comments, hit. Like if you believe in property rights, and subscribe if you want more tales of HOA chaos, because trust me, there's plenty out here in the wild.